Volatility is compressing near the weekly 0.33 boundary beneath the 120 moving average. The monthly structure continues to descend along the active downtrend line. The 20 Bollinger Band on the monthly timeframe remains sloped downward. The February candle closes without forming a long, lower shadow. There is no visible lower band rejection. There is no outward expansion from the lower boundary. The monthly range is leaning into the band instead of separating from it. Distance from the 20 moving average remains extended to the downside. That distance has not meaningfully narrowed. Price has not rotated back toward the mid-band region. When measured from the prior weekly high to the 120 mega-amperes defined low, the current monthly body forms between the 0.5 and 0.25 retracement zone. This positions the candle inside a mid-range compression field. The 20 Bollinger lower band is not accelerating downward. It is maintaining a steady slope. It is guiding containment rather than expansion. There is no flattening. There is no curvature shift. The slope remains consistent. Inside that monthly boundary, the weekly structure is compressing near the lower half of the first February weekly candle. Weekly candle bodies are smaller compared to earlier expansion phases. Upper extensions are limited and short-lived. The weekly 120 moving average remains above price. Distance between price and the 120 MA has not significantly closed. The 20 moving average continues descending toward the 120 MA. The two averages are approaching each other gradually. Their slopes are aligned downward. Convergence increases structural density. The 20 Bollinger Bands on the weekly timeframe maintain a downward angle. The upper white band continues to descend. The lower white band also slopes downward. There is no outward widening. Bandwidth is not increasing. Volatility remains constrained. The 4 Bollinger Band on the weekly chart is tightening. Upper and lower red bands contract toward each other. Candle bodies remain contained inside this narrowing structure. This is duration. This is containment. This is compression without relocation. The weekly 0.33 level aligns with the prior hourly 120 MA zone from last week. That alignment creates structural overlap across timeframes. Overlap increases compression intensity. Compression extends time. Extended time increases density. Density adds structural weight. The weekly structure remains nested inside monthly containment. The descending slope above remains active. Lower boundary interaction continues without expansion. There is no decisive rejection candle. There is no persistent upper acceptance. The structure continues negotiating inside range. Monthly defines the field. Weekly defines the compression. Time continues accumulating under pressure. The monthly 20 Bollinger Band continues to slope downward, while price remains near its lower boundary. The monthly candle body remains compact relative to prior expansions. There is no visible surge away from the lower band. Lower shadow length remains limited. Slope remains negative. Distance from the 20 MA remains extended. The descending trendline continues to cap upper structure. This monthly slope defines structural weight. It does not accelerate into panic. It does not flatten into recovery. It persists steadily. It frames the weekly interaction. It constrains relocation attempts. Inside that monthly slope, the weekly 20 moving average continues descending toward the 120 MA. The gap between them narrows gradually. Both remain above price. This narrowing creates layered resistance overhead. Layering increases structural density. Density compresses volatility amplitude. The weekly volatility distribution remains contracted. Upper band does not expand outward. Lower band does not stretch aggressively. Candle bodies are smaller relative to earlier movement. Upper wicks fail to extend beyond band curvature. Lower wicks do not produce rejection thrust. There is no redistribution into a new volatility regime. There is rotation inside containment. There is persistence without extension. Distance mechanics remain visible. Price remains beneath the weekly 120 MA. The structural gap is still intact. The 20 MA descends toward that gap. As the gap compresses, structural pressure increases. Pressure does not equal expansion. It equals negotiation. It equals compression. It equals duration inside range. The 4 Bollinger Band on the weekly chart tightens further. Upper red band slopes downward. Lower red band mirrors that slope. The channel narrows. Candles overlap repeatedly. Momentum fades inside the narrowing envelope. Flatness becomes dominant. Candle-to-candle displacement decreases. Volatility rotation replaces directional extension. There is compression across consecutive weeks. There is no decisive structural rejection. There is no sustained acceptance above mid-range. The 0.33 level continues to define behavior. Above it, continuation lacks persistence. Below it, decline loses velocity. This forms a compression hinge. Time builds around this hinge. Structure remains unresolved within the monthly boundary. On the daily time frame, price is moving near the 0.33 retracement level beneath the 20-moving average. The daily 20 MA continues to slope downward. It remains well below the 120 MA. Separation between them remains wide. This wide separation shows lack of convergence. There is no tightening between daily averages. They remain layered in a descending sequence. Daily candles repeatedly touch the 20 MA but fail to persist above it. Upper bodies close under the average. Continuation above the average does not sustain. The daily 20 Bollinger Band is compressing. Upper white band is flattening modestly. Lower white band is not expanding outward. Bandwidth narrows further. Volatility contracts session by session. Range tightens without release. The 4 Bollinger Band on the daily chart also contracts. Upper red band slopes downward. Lower red band maintains a similar slope. Candle bodies stay within this tightening envelope. There is no band expansion cycle. There is no volatility reset upward. Flatness dominates multiple sessions. Candle overlap increases. Body size decreases relative to prior movement. The weekly 0.33 anchor continues defining this area. Daily fluctuation remains inside the weekly compression field. Relocation beyond that boundary does not occur. The daily 20 MA slope mechanics remain negative. Minor rallies meet descending resistance. Follow-through fails to extend. The 4 Bollinger contraction cycle continues without outward expansion. Width compresses gradually. Bodies cluster near the midband. No volatility burst emerges. No directional persistence develops. The structure remains layered beneath higher timeframe resistance. Overlap duration increases further. Interaction with the 20 MA repeats across sessions. Distance to the weekly 120 MA above remains unchanged. Lower timeframe fluctuation continues. Higher timeframe weight persists. Processing remains active inside compression.